Okay, hi, my name is Jenny Knoll, and here's my instructional design project. I chose to do daily math fluency for my second grade class. What I notice is when students are coming to me from first grade, they're lacking addition and subtraction fact fluency. According to Common Core state standards, students should have mastered their facts 1 through 10 by the end of first grade. By the end of second grade, they need to master 1 through 20. And they are coming to me not knowing those. They also do not have those problem-solving strategies that they need. Not all students can memorize facts. And in fact, memorization does not indicate strong number sense. And so students need to have strategies to solve addition and subtraction problems. What I'm noticing is that students are really leaning on using their fingers, which is a great strategy, but of course they need more than that. And another problem is they are not having that strong number sense that they need. In second grade, students really need to know where a number is on a number line. They need to understand place value. The problems get harder and harder. And so if they do not have these strategies, they fall farther and farther behind. Another problem is that our current curriculum does not have a fluency piece. So the need is that students do need that intentional instruction and fact fluency strategies. They need specific strategies, and many of them. The cause, I believe, is that we have switched math programs often. One doesn't work, we try another one. But this leads to a lack in, a strong mathematical foundation, especially for our young students. The programs that I have taught lack that fluency piece. And there's a focus on memorization and speed, which, like I said, does not indicate strong math skills. The goals are to fill in those gaps missing in the curriculum. And information to be gathered was done by a pre-assessment and informal observations to see what the students already know, which skills they already have. So daily math fluency is to be done to kind of kick off the math block right at the beginning of that math block. It's in a whole group setting, and students need to have, a meeting area, an area where we all gather together close to the board. And daily math fluency, this is intentional instruction on a specific strategy 3 to 4 times a week. So each day, students are either taught a new strategy or they're practicing a strategy. These strategies should be posted on a daily or on a math strategies anchor chart. And the anchor chart should be posted and referred to often. The students really need to know these strategies. I created PowerPoints for all the lessons. And I also have linked here in the Math Learning Center just another way to project these manipulatives that are included in the program. This one is the Rec and Rick. Each of the manipulatives really want to focus on 5s and 10s. I will show you some examples of the PowerPoint in just a minute. The program will use whiteboards for students to show their work, or sometimes use the students will just do mental math. Math talks are another piece of the daily math fluency. These are done once a week. And the purpose of math talks is for students to choose a strategy that works best for them or works best for a problem. And the expectation is for students to choose a strategy, apply it to solve a problem, and then to be able to explain how they solved the problem. Students will no longer be able to say, I did it in my head. They'll actually have to explain themselves mathematically. So here's the implementation, and I'll show you a couple slides that I made. Like I said, each day is different, and we'll provide the students with 5 problems to solve. Here's a Rec and Rick, and we focus on the left side of the screen. The questions are simple from the teacher. What do you see? How do you see it? And then the student or the teacher is to model student thinking. Again, really with the goal of thinking in terms of 5 and 10. It uses 5 and 10 frames, or sometimes it will just give a simple equation for the students to solve. And it progressively gets harder as the year goes on. Each day, the lesson will state the specific strategy that we are focusing on and that the students should be using. Students need to be able to get their own materials and get themselves to their spots ready to work. You wouldn't want students to be shouting out answers, so there should be a discrete signal for when they have an answer. Not all students will finish at the same time. So you'll need to have a signal, maybe a thumbs up, maybe a cap on a marker, something like that. The teacher's role is to model the student thinking out loud and to be using the strategies and referring back to the strategies often. There is a pre and a post evaluation to be used for initial benchmark and for goal setting. Also, there are opportunities for informal assessment through exit tickets, activities, worksheets, and just through observations of what the students are doing. Both of these should be used to evaluate instruction, to assess the program and how it's working, to see how students, which students are able to do it, and which students need, additional intervention. So for me, this was exciting because this really is a need. It really is a gap, and I really want to use it. I'm going to use it. So I needed to keep it intentional and not stray away from those objectives. I wanted it to be realistic. This is something that needs to correlate with the current curriculum, and time is a factor. I also wanted to make sure I was including all the parts of the lesson plan because I think they're all very important. But again, keeping that to a realistic classroom setting. And that's it. Thank you. Have a great school year.